It seems Modrinth has yet another security incident added to its name, and this time, it's from their Modrinth servers. But it's not as simple as it might seem. Firstly, it's not Modrinth this time, it's Pyro. So I dragged their CEO out of their office and asked them a very, very simple question. Is Modrinth Servers as safe as any other hosting service right now?
As of right now, I believe so.
But that's for later though. Let's first see what happened and how they intend to fix it. Let's face it here, Modrinth hasn't been a stranger to attacks in the past and has been the victim of numerous malicious projects in recent times. We of course had the Windows Borderless project, the thing that disguised itself in a way to play Minecraft Borderless, which was covered in more detail here. And of course we had the recent fake Modrinth Discord scams and the recent Trojan Horse issue with Shadows of the Abyss, a mod that would steal all your Chrome stored passwords, and now we've arrived at this, the Modrinth Servers breach. If you live under a rock, dear god I wanna be you, and you haven't heard about this new addition to Modrinth, here's a quick rundown. Modrinth partnered with a company known as Pyro, who then developed the entire infrastructure and UI from scratch in a month. It's currently in beta for the past 2 months, and according to my testing, it's one of, if not the fastest server host you can get at the moment. That is, if you can get a server at all. As the server is growing so fast, the CEO had to order a new server as the capacity declined another 10 gigabytes in the hour or so we were talking. What use is all of that if all my data is going to be stolen anyway? Well, let's actually look at what happened here and not just come to some false conclusions. This is Cygnus MC, not Linus Tech Tips. The link to this report will be pinned in the pinned comment, so I suggest you read it for yourself. It's not a long read, like 5 minutes or so, but let's summarize it. On January the 20th of 2025, Modrinth has been alerted that 3 user servers had been compromised. This essentially meant that their files were named a colorful collection of racial slurs, and after finding out that it was seemingly the same attacker on all 3 of these servers, the team realized it wasn't just the user account that was compromised, the attack came from within. And the attacker wasn't done yet, renaming a grand total of about 3,000 files with these very not fun words, and seemingly intended to do much more. Pyro, now in full panic mode, scrambled to find out what happened, and after going in lockdown and a lot of digging, they found out that their robot key was compromised. But what is this robot key? Well, to answer that, we should first learn how Pyro's infrastructure used to work. As stated, the entire infrastructure was coded in a month, so it's not perfect. This meant that whenever Pyro needed to add more capacity with another server, they use a special account called Robot. This account, or otherwise most commonly known as user, would have root privileges or admin privileges on every server in the cluster, and they would use this Robot server not only to add new nodes, but also to update them. To help them do this, they installed a tool which assisted them to automate the process on their specific Linux distribution, NixOS. The issue was that the software they used was not done, and had the robot user's personal access token, basically its login credentials, stored within it, unencrypted and just ripe for the stealing. This attacker used this leaked token to keep re-infiltrating their system and nodes, even though they kept changing their passwords and tokens. This is how they kept getting into the system no matter what the team at Pyro tried to do. With the malicious person reaching out to Pyro asking for 1 Ethereum. At the time, this was worth 3,140 bucks. Or they would leak this token out for everyone to use. In response, Pyro just said bet and removed the robot user from all other systems and nodes, resulting in the attacker no longer being able to access their infrastructure and becoming desperate by lowering their price to 0.25 of an ETH after no response was given.
This was definitely a targeted attack on Pyro. I'll put that out there. It was absolutely targeted. Someone purposely targeted Pyro and purposely tried to hurt reputation. However, servers were not actually that affected. We had 3 users who were in total affected that we know, and 2 of which we were able to completely restore their servers. The only one we weren't able to restore was the person who made no backups, and to them, we gave them a full refund. And in response to what happened, we extended everyone, and I mean everyone's, from that announcement point, we extended them by 2 weeks.
It's also worth pointing out that no billing data was breached, meaning the attacker had no idea where you lived. Unlike me, who does know where you live, as I'm inside your walls, little Timmy, and it's time you really cleaned up your room. It's disgusting. In either case, with this crisis averted, let's wrap this up. Is Modrinth Servers as safe as any other hosting service right now?
As of right now, I believe so. Now, I will say, is it going to be as stable? Probably not. because again, this is a beta release. At no point is your data on your server going to be like messed with anymore. There was a very big incident, and what really made us realize that they have database access was in the span of 60 seconds, every backup's name was just changed to a racial slur. We were able to restore it pretty much immediately and lock them out immediately. So right now, in terms of safety, yeah, completely safe. I would trust it. Just take frequent backups. We do not allow backups to be deleted for like 30 days. Yeah, this was a screw up by our part, and we're going to take full responsibility for that. This wasn't a Modrinth problem. If anything, this breach has only made the platform more secure because it opened up some operational procedures that we realized, hey, this isn't going to work anymore.
Honestly, man, just seeing a company step forward and admit they fucked up and not blaming it on any other number of third parties is a breath of fresh air. That being said, a lot of criticism I do see coming to them is the fact that it's just open source. But it's important to note that just because you can see what the code does, it doesn't give you an automatic advantage. Yes, you could figure out a way to destroy their entire stuff in a matter of minutes if they had an exploit, but that would require you to have root access, 1, and 2, that there is actually an exploit, which is a big ask after this breach, as they've hardened their security, removing the robot user in favor of trusted users, adding more monitoring and alarms, and a bigger focus on security as a whole. In a sense, it's really good that this attack happened this early in its history, as from now on it will be a lot more safe to use their blazing fast servers. And again, that is if you can actually get one, because once again, they're scrambling to add more capacity as I'm writing this. Talk about suffering from success. But with that being said, I was Lunar, you were very awesome, and I swear, why do I keep doing this malware shit? Alright, thank you for watching this shorter video. I just wanted to report on this because there is a part 2 coming with the CEO of Pyro talking about its launch and how it's going, and a little bit about the security breach as well. No, not FNAF. And of course, thank you to all my patrons who already have access to this interview on my Patreon. And yeah, and also thank you to my YouTube Pebbles who will no doubt have early access to this video. And yeah. That's it, I really just want to thank you. I want to thank the CEO of Pyro for taking the time to talk with me. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.